Aloha and welcome to our video on climate changes. In this video, we'll describe the natural processes that can cause climate changes, but also we'll describe the human processes that can impact the climate as well. So we can look back in our geologic record and we can see that we've experienced differences in climate over time. One of the reasons for this would be plate tectonics, and that would be that quite simply as our plates are moving, they're going to move to a different location on the earth, and as such we would experience a different climate. So the plate tectonics, the movement of the plates, could change climate over a long period of time. We also have the Earth's orbital motions, and this one's a little bit harder to explain. What we're talking about here is as the Earth is moving around the sun, we have that tilt of 23 degrees. So our Earth is here and we're kind of tilted like this. Well, this tilt kind of wobbles over time. So as it does so, the North Star isn't always the North Star. The tilt's not always going to be 23.5 degrees. It'll kind of vary a little bit. So as that happens, and again, this is over on a geologic time, so it takes thousands of years for this to occur, we can see a change in what the North Star is, but it'll also trigger a difference in the climates of the world. So that's one way that we can change climate, is just by having this wobble on the Earth. Now, ocean circulation, if that were to change, that could change the climate as well. And that's one of the things we're worried about with the melting of the ice caps, is how will that change our circulation of our currents. So we can see where that might be an issue. We can have changes in solar activity. For the most part, it's common, but sometimes we might have a period of activity where the sun's going to be a little more violent, and that would cause a little bit of warming there. And then finally, we have volcanic eruptions. And our volcanic eruptions throw the ash and the dust up into the sky, and that could darken our skies a little bit, basically work like clouds, cool off the earth, kind of level it out, might produce a little bit more precipitation because we could seed clouds with it. So we can see these variations going this way. Now, the volcanic eruptions is closely related to our mass extinction when we talked about the dinosaurs, because we had that dust layer up there and we saw what that happened. So all of these can affect the climate as we see, and it's all a natural way of doing so. So now let's take a look at human impacts. And human impacts come in the form of carbon dioxide. And what we notice is if we look back in time in about 1850, we notice the start of the Industrial Revolution. This is where we moved from the country into cities, and being in cities, we wanted to have power and light and heating and things of that nature. So we started using fossil fuels, burning wood. And anytime we burn something, one of the byproducts is this carbon dioxide. Now we know that carbon dioxide is found in the atmosphere and it's taken care of by the plants. But what we see in our graph is just an increase exponentially of the amount of carbon dioxide that we're putting out into the atmosphere. What this is going to do is where we have a little bit of unknown. We don't know exactly what's going to happen, how much we can add without it being significant, if we're going to add so much that now we're going to turn the corner, so to speak, and we don't know what's going to happen afterwards. So we definitely know we're impacting the atmosphere. We definitely know we're putting up carbon dioxide, and carbon dioxide is a greenhouse gas. So because we're adding this greenhouse gas, that's why we called it global warming at first. But now we're calling it climate change. And it's not just regular climate change, it's rapid. So something's going to happen eventually. We just don't know how far we have and what's going to happen. Okay, so the lesson will go into this in a little more detail. As always, good luck with the lesson and the quiz, and we will see you in the next video.